Hello, guys. We'll be starting soon. So just quickly invite your friends as well. Guys, the speaker is already here. So join fast. You guys can join through LinkedIn Live or YouTube Live, anything whichever is comfortable for you. Okay, guys, we'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we are going to start. So just join fast. You don't want to miss the great experiences of our speaker. Cool. I think we can start now since we have got a lot of audience. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. Of course, this is for you. Welcome to the episode 5 of The Secret to Crack Case Comms by Bschool Buddies. I'm Shreya Bendigiri, your host, and this time we have another Shreya on the webinar. So, we have her as the national winner of Tata Imagination Challenge 2023, Shreya Chaudhary. And since Tata Imagination Challenge 24 is live right now, so she's the best person to guide you guys through the journey. So let me quickly introduce her. So she's a BTech Computer Science from CV Raman Global University and currently working at Flipkart. And this is going to be an interactive session where we let her present her deck, her experiences, and mind you guys, she really did have great experiences, and she's very eager to share them all with you. So we let her share that, post which we'll open the floor for Q&A, where you can post your questions in the comment section and Shreya will answer them. This webinar is available on YouTube and LinkedIn both, so feel free to watch it through any of those comfortable for you. And now, without further delay, we can start. And Shreya, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for and thank you, Bschool Buddies, for having me here. And it's a great opportunity to speak in front of you all. So I'll start with a short introduction about myself. I'm Shreya Chaudhary, and I've recently completed my graduation in BTech with my branch as computer science with specialization in data science from CV Raman Global University, Bhubaneswar, and I'm currently working as an application engineer at a leading e-commerce company. So, I hope sharing my journey and experience will help clear any doubts you might have regarding Tata Imagination Challenge. So, I'd like to start with what is Tata Imagination Challenge? So, TIC is one of the greatest platform, or I can say an amazing opportunity for people who has an idea and has potential in it and wants to pitch it and wants to reach great heights. So that is what TIC is all about. It doesn't matter your idea is big, small. No, actually, no idea is big or small. That's the hashtag of TIC. So yeah, I'll move on. So basically, my experience with TIC will always stand out as one of the most memorable moment of my life. I gained invaluable insights throughout this journey, and I'm thrilled to share them with you all. So I participated in TIC last year when I was in my college, and coming from an engineering background with limited or no knowledge about case competitions, I still managed to convince the panel with my idea. So I believe that sometimes rather than making it too complicated, we should keep it simple and stick to the basics. So my approach was simple. I needed to present an idea, and before doing so, I made sure to know all the who, why, when, and where aspects of it. So I'll start with my journey with TIC. So, my journey began with the first round. That was the Tata brand assessment round. So, this round basically tested our knowledge of Tata's history and how familiar are we with Tata's global presence. So, it consisted of 20 multiple choice questions, which was to be answered within 20 minutes. And there were bonus points if you are answering the questions accurately and more like like your speed is fast. So for preparation of this round, you can go through Tata history on Google about Tatas and Sons, about the headquarters of Tata Group, some of the institutions that are laid down by Jamshedji Tata, about the Taj Palace, about Tata Steel, which was earlier known as Tata Iron and Steel Company, basically about Tata. And there were some aptitude questions which would be easy for you all to solve. So that was it about the round one. That was the Tata brand assessment. Now moving on to the second round, that was the gamified round. So in the gamified round, it was designed basically to evaluate your speed, your critical thinking, and your memory power. So in this gamified round, I'll say that there were some block puzzles to solve, or maybe we can say that there was some sequence of actions that we had to memorize, and then we had to recreate accurately. So these are some of the games that I'd say. There was no time limit, like as such 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but yeah, each games have some time limit. So you can take a quiet place and go for this round. So yeah, so basically this round will test how good are you at handling risk, pressure, and your critical thinking. That's what is all about. It's all about. So moving on, the round three. So basically, round three was the most important round. That was the idea submission round. You have to submit your idea in a video, and the duration of the video should be kept 2 minutes. So what I decided is I decided to keep my video very straightforward, and like I haven't used any kind of animations, or I haven't used any editing tools, video editing tools to edit my video. I just switched on my phone camera and I recorded the video and then I submitted it. I wanted it to be very raw. So, what was my approach for making the idea? So, I started with the brief introduction and then transitioned into my idea statement. So, my idea was to build an AI model that could translate sign language into speech or text, so that the people who are unable to speak, it would be easier for them to communicate in day to day life. So, to make a strong impression, I began my introduction using sign language. I then explained those, whatever I did in the sign language, I explained those in speech, and then I stated it like, let's like it's then I stated it like how difficult it would be for people to communicate. So after that, I gave a proper reason behind choosing this idea. I would say for me, the reason was that I saw a student who has to drop off of his school because of his communication barrier. Because in India there are not many platforms or educational system provided for such students. So he had to drop off, and that really moved me. Like, yeah, so that was the reason behind choosing this idea. And then I went on for the potential impact that could have on the world. So I can add, like, it bridges the communication gap between the people who cannot speak and the people who don't know sign language. So that was one of the most important impact this idea would give in the upcoming world. So yeah, that was it. And it would also promote a more inclusive workplace environment by enabling better communication between colleagues. And this idea would really help in education system, which will provide student to have more resources and tools to engage with and to learn more. So yeah, that was all about my video that I submitted. And it was a 2 minute video, so you have to be very precise about it. And like basically your video should give, like in those 2 minutes you have to give the impact. And because that's 2 minute will is going to decide that you're going to select it further or not. So you have to be very brief and very precise about whatever you are speaking. And like these are the four things that I implemented: first my introduction, then the video, then what's my idea is, then the reason behind choosing this idea, and what is the potential impact of this idea. So that was it. Now moving on, I submitted the video. And few days later, I received an email stating that my idea has been selected, and I was amongst the top 50 participants who were invited to Mumbai for the final pitching round. So yes, and it was an unforgettable moment for me. And yeah, now moving on to how I prepared myself for the grand finale. So there are the few things that I kept in my mind that I had. So first of all, I was assigned an idea buddy to guide me. So my idea buddy was Govind, and he's working with Tata. So he helped me in framing my idea into a business context. And he also prepared me for all the potential questions that the jury might ask. So like he helped me a lot, and some of the lessons that, like some of the learnings that I got from him will always stay with me, and I'll discuss with you guys in the upcoming slide. So, but there was a twist that no PowerPoints, no props, nothing were allowed for the presentation. So, since no PPTs were allowed for the presentation, I made sure to be very thorough with my research, and I have to be very precise in whatever I am saying in in present of the jury members. So, for that, I reviewed numerous research papers and went thoroughly through all the papers that's related to my idea, went into details, minute details. And this also involved understanding the approach and basically developing a flow diagram. So this idea was also given by my idea buddy, that you should develop a flow diagram. So basically, you should at least have a clear roadmap for developing your idea, from working from the dataset to actually building the application. This doesn't need to dive too deep into the technical details, but it should demonstrate that you have a solid understanding of the problem statement that you are choosing, because it would help you in the long run. So this in like the, all the interview part that doesn't delve deep into the technical details, but this interview was more about who you are as a person and why have you chosen this idea. That was all about it. So, and now the preparations that I've did were, some of the preparations were selecting appropriate models. So what models to choose for my application to be built and what not to choose. And the most important aspect was that whether your problem statement has been taken before and by anyone else and solved. So you have to look like in this aspect also. So in my case, this problem statement was taken, and two students from University of Washington uh, have built an, what shall I say, a glove, a physical glove that could, like from the hand gestures, they could detect, and then they could those gloves could uh, extract the data from the data set, and then they could match. If it's work, like if it matches, then it predicts the output. But the thing is that this model or this solution has some drawbacks. So how I have to look into how my model and how my solution will stand out from the rest of the, like rest of the solutions that already provided, that's already been built. So I thought of like that this glove, this physical glove would, first of all, it's not very budget friendly for everyone, and second, it's not very travel friendly because of all the wires that it contains. So, and the thing is that India is a very diverse country and it has lots of languages. So we have to be very precise while building a data set, because that really matters. How, what is the data set, and if my model is appropriate for people, like for Indian people, in to communicate in their day to day life with maybe auto wale bhaiyas, or the stores, if they're going to buy something. So we have to keep all these in mind, all these things in mind, while building our solution. While, so I have kept all these things in mind while building the flow diagram of my solution. So yeah, so these are the things that have to be kept in mind before going for the grand finale. And yeah, after all this, the it was the day for the grand finale. The grand finale of Tata Imagination Challenge was an unforgettable 3-day trip to Mumbai, which was filled with learning, networking, and inspiration. So, starting with the day one of TIC was a remarkable experience for me, which was filled with opportunities to connect with like minded individuals and exchange ideas. It wasn't just about meeting new people, it was about immersing myself into a community of passionate innovators who was eager to push boundaries and challenge the status quo. So it was a very lively kind of evening where we played games, we had good food, we got to know each other better. I talked to many of the fellow contestants about their idea and how they landed up with that idea, and what's the motivation behind their idea. And it was great talking to all of them about their ideas and getting to know about them better. So basically, day one was an interactive session with all the fellow members, like fellow contestants and existing task managers. So, and the image you can see is the goodies that we got on the first day. Now, moving on to the second day. So, the second day was all about the interviews, which were conducted in slots. So, generally, everyone's interview went on for around 40 to 45 minutes, but the experience that everyone shares are quite different. So, I'll share you my experience. Before entering into the room, I was panicking, but after I entered, I sat down, I started with my introduction, and everything was okay. The jury members were incredibly supportive. The panel included senior task managers, and they started asking questions from my resume that I've and some of the projects that I've mentioned, my co-curricular activities, my hobbies, the problem statement that I've taken in my hackathon that I've mentioned on my resume, how I what was the solution, what was the approach behind it. So we talked about it a bit, and then they delved deep into the problem statement or my idea that I've chosen for TIC. So they asked questions about my idea, and again I'm repeating that the idea that they didn't went deep into the technical details of it, but they were more interested to know how I landed with this idea, what provoked me, and what are the things that I did to know more about this idea, and if in case I am going to implement it in future, then what will be my planning or preference, and what models am I going to choose, and all. So these are some of the questions that went on, that were asked in my interview. And yeah, it was a very friendly and engaging interaction, where when I was speaking something, they were giving ideas that this could also be done with your problem statement. So I won't call it as an interview. It was an engaging session, and it was a one-on-one conversation. I think it was not, I won't call it as an interview. So after that, they gave me some feedbacks, and one of the feedback that I remember was that I should work on the presentation of my resume, as my resume is not clearly defining who I am. So they mentioned to take guidance from the fellow contestants, as they're from B schools. So believe me, that suggestion really helped. So I after my interview, yeah, after my interview, we were given an exclusive tour of the Bombay House, the iconic head office of the Tata Group. It was fascinating to see the place where so much history have unfolded. Like, it was a great experience. It was it was very, what shall I say? The historical artifacts that I've seen there was amazing. After Yeah. So on the third day, we were taken on the tour of the Taj Palace. The palace, with its rich cultural heritage, the architectural elegance, legit left a deep impact on me. The tour basically provided a deeper understanding of the values and history that have driven Tata's achievements so far, and how it has impacted on business growth and societal growth. So yeah, this was the tour of the Taj Palace. These are some of the images that I've added from the Taj Palace tour. Yes, how can I forget? The highlight of the evening was meeting Mr. Harish Bhatt, who's the director of Tata Group. He shared his thoughts, and his insights were both thoughtful and inspiring. Serving serving as a call to action for all of us to contribute to our nation's growth and development. So he encouraged all of us to embrace change, to be creative, and his words left a lasting impact on everyone who's present there. So now I have given a gist of what TIC was and how are the rounds, what are the rounds that happened to the end till the end. So now I'll share some of my experiences that I have learned or I have experienced during the TIC, and I'd like to share it with you guys. So, first, yeah. So, these are the things that you must keep in mind. Know your idea inside out and stay focused on the problem statement. I believe that when you are fully involved into your problem statement now, you are better equipped to develop a solution that are relevant and effective. So it helps you avoid distractions and keeps you from straying into less impactful areas. Knowing your idea thoroughly gives you the confidence from within, and like the what can I say? It can help you to face challenges. Yeah. So moving on, keep it realistic and implementable, because this will ensure that the resource and the time and the efforts that you have invested will lead to a tangible outcome. And research thoroughly, I've talked about it. Research is the most important thing. You have to go through all the like research papers or YouTubes or Wikipedias or whatever documentation there's been, like whatever documentation there are available on the internet, you should go through it, because that's the only source that could help you know better about your idea, and basically that would help you know that has this problem taken before by anyone else and solved, and what was their solution, and you can implement and you can make changes according to that. Now the things that you should avoid doing is avoid making assumptions, because avoiding assumptions helps ensure that your decision are well informed, so and they are real. Avoid making assumptions. Don't ignore the time limit, and this is precisely for the video submission round. If it's for 2 minutes, then like be it for 2 minutes only. Now, don't overcomplicate your solution. Simple solutions are easier to understand and communicate. When a solution is straightforward, everyone who is listening to it can grasp the concept of it, which can lead to better collaboration. So, yeah, you should keep all these things in mind. And I was talking about the one thing, the most important thing that I learned from my mentor, from my idea buddy, was that use numbers and stats. At least two, four numbers you should use while you are presenting, because that creates a strong impact. Even if you're not very accurate with your numbers, give approximate numbers, but yes, you should use numbers because they provide concrete evidence that supports your point, making your case more convincing and reliable. And some of the tips that I would like to share is know your long term goals and future planning with your idea, because you might get asked, you might get questions from this, that what are your future planning with this idea. Share a story or personal experience that explains why you chose this idea. Sharing a story connects you with the idea, and it shows how passionate are you with with this idea, how personally connected are you with this idea. So sharing a story always helps. So share a incident that happened to you, that led to like that led you to thought that you can solve this idea, solve this problem statement. And yeah, embrace feedback with an open mind always, and prepare for the unexpected. So I'm saying this because the 13 members, so I'll tell you the numbers. 2.63 participants participated in TIC last year, in which 50 of the participants, like this, 50 videos were selected, and they were called to Mumbai for the final round, for the grand finale. And from those 50, 13 were the finalists. So 13 students were selected, and those 13 students were given a chance for accelerated entry into tasks. Like they were given a chance to prepare to give interview for tasks. So they won't judge you solely on the basis of your idea, but they'll also judge you as who you are as a person. They'll know about, they'll talk to you about your journey so far. So like how you what are your educational backgrounds, and what are your career aspirations. They'll talk all about it because they want to know who you are. That's that's the main gist of it. And yeah, that's what my experience was with TIC. I'll always be glad and blessed that this happened to me, and because that changed a lot of things within me. TIC pushed me to think beyond boundaries and envision a brighter future, I'd say. It was challenging yet immensely rewarding. It was a very rewarding experience, and I would always cherish those moments forever in my life. Yeah, just a second. I'll share a video that would help you guys. So I guess you didn't understood what I just did. Now imagine what if there is a model that could have converted these signs into speech or text. Hello everyone, I'm Shreya Chaudhary and I'm a 4th year BTech student from CV Raman Global University, Bhubaneswar. My idea is to build a hassle-free communication platform for people who are suffering from speech disability, an application that is easily accessible to anyone who are facing this kind of difficulty. So the main motivation behind my idea is that I met a student who had to drop off from his school because he cannot get proper education because of communication barrier. And that deeply moved me. That was the first time I've encountered such case in my real life. So I want this application to be in every individual's phone all over the world so that no people from speech disability, any kind of communication barrier. I personally believe that we should never assume that people who cannot speak or communicate have nothing to say. Yeah.
Yes, that was a great presentation, Shreya. Like, you handled it single handedly very well. Like, you covered everything right from how you approached and up to the point where you shared your wonderful experiences as well. So, I'm sure it would be very, very helpful for all the viewers. So, for the audience, I just wanted to share that we'll be um, working on case comp specific guidance soon. We are conducting case comp specific webinars already, and we'll soon start on the one-on-one mentorship as well. So stay tuned. And for that, please join the WhatsApp group, which the QR code is already present on the next slide. Shreya, if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, you can join the WhatsApp group here where we are continuously sharing updates related to case comps and all the upcoming webinars. And these are our all the social media sites below. And now we can start with the Q&A. So guys, you can post your questions on the chat, and Shreya is here to both the Shreyas are here. One is there to read out the questions for you, and the other Shreya will answer your questions here. So guys, you can post your questions in the comment section. Guys, please shoot out your questions here. Shreya is here to answer them. You can ask them on LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever. I think you've covered everything so well that there's nothing left to ask, because you actually covered everything right from the assessments up to the entire process, your approach, and your experience at the
Yeah.
place as well. I think we have a question here. Are we supposed to work on the idea that we will propose?
No, so Anup, it's all on you that you want to implement it later in your life or not. But for TIC, you just need an idea that you have to present, and you don't even need a PPT or presentation. You just have to keep an idea in mind that you want to solve, that you think that you can solve if you would be given the proper resource and all. So you don't have to solve it there. You don't have to show the prototype or anything. You just have to present what's in your mind and how you approached with that idea. And yeah, that's it. So you don't have to solve the idea, solve the solution.
Is it necessary for the ideas to be a technical solution?
Hi Tithi. No. So basically, you can take any kind of problem first of all, and it doesn't need to have a technical solution, because they will not go deep into the technical aspect of the solution. They are more eager to find out that how you came up with that idea and how are you planning on solving it if needed, मतलब आगे जाके. So you don't have to solve it, and you don't have to show the technical aspect of it. But I'd like to add that if you have a prototype in your mind, and if you show them, or if you like tell them about this is the way you are thinking of implementing it, I think that might always add a plus point to it. That they'll always think now that you have an idea, you have a solution, and then you even have the prototype of like implementing that solution. So that's always a plus point. But yeah, you don't need a solution, because every each of the 50 candidates, though like those were present for the grand finale, they don't have the solution, including me. So yeah, thank you.
Can you share your experience after winning the TIC, making industrial visits and on ground industry experience?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, winning TIC, I would never forget the moment I got a call that hi Ayushya, and yes, you have like won the TIC and you are one amongst 13 candidates. I legit confirmed that, are you talking about Shreya Chaudhary? There were two Shreyas. I legit did that because I was I was in awe. I cannot believe that has happened to me. But yes, it was a great experience. My parents were proud. What else do I need? And yeah, about the industrial visit, thank you for mentioning it. So all the 13 candidates were taken to an industrial visit, and this year they were taken to Mithapur, that's in Gujarat. That's the chemical factory of Tata. So that visit was like, that was a great visit, and we get to know a lot, we get to learn a lot from the, like, from the visit itself. So in the so all the 50, all the 13 candidates, 13 winners were there to participate in the, like, Tata trials. They call it Tata trials. Who they call, they like invite all the candidates, and then they they take them to an industrial visit, and they, it was great. Like, they, what shall I say? They the So basically, I would like to share one experience that happened. So in the chemical factory, we got to know that they generate, they generate water, and that's the way, that's a waste product that they generate, and that was like, they generate water as a waste product. And that was the most curious, and I was very curious to know more about it. So yes, that was all about the off-site experience that we had, and it was great. Thank you.
So, with respect to Tithi's question, which she said that do we need a technical solution?
Yeah.
And you mentioned that there's no such need. So, I think that's how it'll be comfortable for the non computer engineering students as well, right? Or the non engineering students as well, who are MBAs and all. It's useful for them to just pitch in their ideas and they don't need to have that technical knowledge for that purpose.
Yes. So I would like to say that it's better for, like, non, like, it's better for MBA grads or MBA students who are pursuing MBA to part in such case comps, but we cannot say anything, right? Because like, I was from engineering background, so I, like, I didn't have any prior knowledge about case competitions. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so this was all about like presenting, and how good are you at presenting whatever's in your mind. So this was all about it. So this was, I think, that's more for MBA grads. And some of my fellow contestants were quite in shock that how are they even, like, why are they even inviting under, like, the
Hmm.
e-school candidates for
Right.
such competitions. But no, but it's a great opportunity for e-school candidates, especially for e-school candidates, to participate in such competitions, to get to know about B schools. And it was a completely different yet amazing experience. So yeah, I would like to encourage more engineering schools candidates to go and participate in such case comps, and you never know where you'll end.
Right. It acts like a kind of a starter for them. And mostly people are not aware about these competitions at the engineering level, as you said. So
Yes.
it will really give them that perspective as well. So yes, what you're saying is actually right, that it is more about generating awareness as well. Like more and more people should participate, because as you showed the perks as well, what all the things that you received at the end and the experience, that kind of an experience is one of a kind in life, and like everyone should get a chance to do that.
Yeah, so the perks, I'd say the most important thing that I learned during the journey was the most memorable moment for me, and the most, I'd say, is that interacting is the interaction with all those B school candidates, and getting to learn a lot from them. Like, they are the bright, like, I was around the brightest minds, and I am glad that I got that opportunity. And yes.
Yeah, and getting into the top 13 candidates out of the 2 lakh registrations which were there is really a great achievement and a great sense of validation which you would have got.
Yeah, all the fame and all was so it was overwhelming.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Guys, do you have any other questions for
So
Shreya?
So one thing I'd like to add is that the most so some of you might get confused about what kind of topic to choose. So I believe that the important thing before choosing a topic is that you should choose an idea that genuinely interests you and that sparks your curiosity. So when you are passionate about your idea, it not only keeps you motivated throughout the process, but it also drives you to explore deeper and like to think out of the box and to become more creative. So when you're genuinely invested in the topic, it shows it shows the authenticity. So that's what you should do, that's how you should choose a topic. And you can also approach it in this way, that you can think of it by considering a problem statement that aligns with Tata's strength, where they could potentially support or contribute. i'm not I'm not telling that you should choose a topic that is related to like Tata, but that in which Tata can invest or something for the profit of Tata. I'm not saying that, but yes, you can think of it as that way also. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have more questions. Can we show our ideas only when that can we show our ideas that we have worked on only if we get shortlisted, or is there any other option to showcase while submission?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah. Can we show our ideas that we have worked on if we get shortlisted, or is there any option to showcase while submission?
So if I'm getting the question right, so basically you do not have to show the solution of the idea, and that's what the question is, right? You do not
I
have to.
think she is asking that can we show our ideas only when on which we have worked on if we get shortlisted, or can we show them during the submission itself?
Okay, so basically, the first round was the Tata brand assessment round. The second round was the gamified round, and the third round was the idea submission round. So all rounds are like elimination rounds. So in the third round, you have to shoot a video of yourself talking about you and your idea. So if it gets shortlisted, sorry, so yes, if it gets shortlisted, you'll have then only you'll be invited to Mumbai for the final pitching of your idea. So that's the flow of TIC. I hope I answered your question correctly.
Yep, Tripti, you can let us know if you have not understood the answer. She'll explain it better. We have another question from Sayan. Good evening. Thanks for such a deep, insightful session. Regarding the quiz, what did you mean by Tata presence in global context? For example, like Tata acquisition and mergers globally.
Yeah. So in the first round of the Tata brand assessment, there was a mix of there were 20 questions, and there were mix of questions from aptitude as well as like Tata's history. So basically, they can ask you anything, and I honestly don't remember the questions that were asked in my round, but yeah, they were mostly related to Tata. Like you can maybe like I'm giving an example where you can study about where are the headquarters of Tata Group, or where like when was the Taj Palace established, who established Tata, what was the first product they started building. So these are the kind of things you can like focus on. And yes, I wasn't able to answer all the questions. So like it's all on luck maybe, and the aptitude part you're going to solve. And whatever questions you can always do that. Thank you.
Okay, hope Sayan you got your answer. We have a question from Mridula. To select the idea, what are the things we should keep in mind?
Yeah, so I talked about it and I'll tell you. So the most important thing you should keep in mind is that you should really that idea that you chose should really interests you, and you should be curious about solving that problem statement that you have chosen, because doing that now it will help you uh, thinking out of the box and being creative. And so these are the most important things that you should keep in mind while choosing an idea statement, while choosing a problem statement. Thank you.
I think we have covered all the questions. We'll wait for 2 more minutes to see if there are any other questions. Otherwise, we can close.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know if you have any other questions.
So yeah, I would like to say that please go and participate in TIC, because if if you get selected, you will have the greatest experience of your life. And like whatever you're gonna, like, you're not gonna forget any, like the single second of your life from all those 3 days, and basically the 3 months. And post this post the video round, when you get to interact with your idea buddy. So I haven't talked much about the idea buddy phase, but yeah, that's a non-elimination round. So after the video submission round, there's an idea buddy phase, but that's non-eliminative. So you can literally have conversations from your with your idea buddy, and you can extract the most you can from them, because they are sitting at a very high position, and they know a lot about Tata. And like other than Tata also, they have huge knowledge. So you can take a lot from them. You can sit with them, you can interact with them. And yes, all the 50 idea buddies that were assigned were really helpful. And yes, they were really helpful, they were quite interactive, and they helped a lot during the process. They'll basically help you shape your idea and your pitch, so that you can present in front of the jury members in the most accurate way you can. So yes, and it's a very great experience, I'd say. Just go for it. There are still 7 days, I think, left for the first round. You can go
Right.
participate. Yeah.
Cool. That was a very great session, Shreya. Like, I'm sure everyone would have enjoyed it because you actually explained it that much with true passion. And we could sense how much you enjoyed the entire process and how much you gained through this journey. So I'm sure this will inspire many people to participate and go and hit on the register button. So, yes, thank you so much for the session. And we look forward to hosting you soon again. And guys, for the updates, please join the WhatsApp group and stay tuned for the next webinar.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. And it was great interacting with you guys and doing a session with you guys. So yeah, like I'm also hoping to meet you guys soon in future and doing more sessions together. And yeah, please subscribe to Bschool Buddies and join the WhatsApp group. And yes, you'll get more amazing content, as Shreya mentioned. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, and all the best to all the participants of Tata Imagination Challenge.
Yeah, all
Thank
the
you.
best. Thank you.